Alright guys, so we got the box down. It's kind of heavy. This is my dad, Jimmy Sr., my mom. She ran for the door. We're going to put together this Deluxe Arched Pergola. It's store-bought. You can get them at Menards, probably several other places, but we're going to put this together. We're going to put it together and set it on this concrete patio, and now we just got to figure out where to start. Alright, so we got the box open, just untaped it, opened it. This is what the kit looks like inside. The fabric, the top pieces. I'm sure these bigger ones are the legs. So for right now, I am going to, the way I usually put things together, I start taking it all out and I lay it out as per what they are, and I actually read the instructions. So I'm going to do that part, but that's what's next. I'm just going to take everything out of the sleeves, and I'll show you how I lay everything out so that I can find all the parts and pieces per the instructions. Alright guys, so it doesn't look too bad. Here's the parts. So everything's laid out per what they are. There's all the fasteners for it. The instructions on how to put it together. The spot to put it. I haven't seen on the instructions yet where it says that if you have kids, you should have your kids put this up for you, but I think my mom found it.
No, I didn't actually. It says it's not meant to be a year-round structure and it should be taken down every winter. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. We'll compromise on those pieces, but we'll start putting it together per the instructions. Alright, step one, let's do the posts, the base, and the skirt that covers it. So I have all my pieces laid out just the way they should go. My little bag of screws, which actually has the Allen wrench in it, and it almost looks like everything you need for this job is that Allen wrench. Everything to build this whole thing is in this little cart, or this little thing. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I will show you putting together one section, and then we'll move on. Oh, from things I put together in the past, remember to take the stickers off, because once it's all put together, some of them get covered up, half sticking out, or you forget to do it and then it looks like crap. So slide this over, removable. There's 2 holes on either side. Put the base in there, and I'll go in these. Now they are slotted, so this will move back and forth like this. So for right now I'm going to snug them up, but I'm not going to completely torque them down. Because when we put this up and get it all squared up, we're going to want to be able to adjust things. Okay. So that's the leg. This piece will slide back down and cover it up once we put it up in the air. So one is done. I'm going to do that 3 more times. Alright, so part 2, next phase, have all those put together, all I've done is just leaned them on the wall, make sure I got all the stickers off of them. Now we're going to go to the next piece where we put a cross member across the main posts. So we'll do that, and we'll fasten them down with the longer screws, C's. These guys, again, it's an Allen wrench. Allen wrench is going to do this whole job pretty much. We'll put those together. You can do this laying on the ground or leaned up against something, because they're not stable to stand on their own right now. And I'll put one together and you can watch that, and then I will do the next one. Alright, so the Allen wrench, 2 screws per side. These 2 will go on the other side. The end of it has 4, so 2 are going to go for this, and then when the piece goes over here, the curved piece, it'll fasten down into these and fit into this. But the instructions don't show you this, but you need to pay attention. There's only two holes to fasten to, and they're going to be for your angle braces. So one angle brace will go from this one into here, and then one will go into the curved one up this way, and there's not one on the other side. So watch for that when you're putting this together. It's not spelled out in the instructions for you. So we will put this together. And they don't go on the inside, they go through the whole piece. And all this stuff you totally do not want to over tighten. All you're going to do is just crush the metal. See how you can see how it goes through the whole thing into this, and tighten them pretty much down, and then that one will be done. I'm going to do the other 3 and tune you back in. Okay, so I have all 4 posts fastened to 2 of the main beams. So one set's on the ground, one set I have leaning against the house. Now for me, I'm tall. I could stand in the middle and carry this and put this up by myself if I wanted to. My dad helped me put this up here, but if you're alone, you have a couple options. You can stand it up, build it where the legs or the posts are going to go up, and then bungee strap it to a chair or a ladder so that it doesn't wobble until you get the top parts in place to help hold your whole base. So like this one that's on the ground right now is just about where it's going to go, so I could stand it up in place and bungee strap one leg to a chair to help keep it stable until I do this next part. So sometimes you just kind of gotta think outside the box a little bit, but you can do this all by yourself if you want to. So I'm going to get ready to put the next step is putting the cross members, which will give you a standing base. So I will get set up for that, and then we'll venture on. Okay, so like I said, we bungee strapped to this. It's holding this form up. This one's kind of bungee strapped to there. Now I do have help, obviously. You can see my parents right here, but I'm trying to make it so that you guys can do it by yourself if you want to or if you have to. So I really think you can. I just carried one around by myself to make sure I wasn't lying to you. So now I'm going to put up the cross member. Now, I almost screwed up already, so You have these two holes and this one right here that are going to go into the ones that are on the sides that I was telling you about. And if the camera was to pick up that this one is facing out there, oh, that's a big no-no. So I have them both wrong. So 2 over. Yeah, it's a real quick. Well, all right. Now I switched hands. Now I'm the manager. And you'll see in just a second what I was talking about. So these holes right here, they are now facing, so each hole is facing that hole. This hole is facing that hole. Something to pay attention to before you get it all put together and you're at the last piece, because I think the cross braces were last, so that would have been a big screw up. So I'll fasten the upright in. Just hold that there for a second. Trying to help being tall. Okay. See how they just drop down into one another, and then there's 2 holes up here. We'll take the 2 long fasteners and put them in there and tighten them down with the Allen, and then this thing's going to start to stay up by itself. So do that real quick. Alright, so tighten down. You can kind of see the indentation stop. I mean, you can over tighten it where you're just crushing everything, but these 2 kept loosening up as these 2 kept tightening down. Now everything is snug, so that part's done. We'll move on to the next. Okay, so the next step is to put on all the remaining long pieces. Those 2 long, more narrow square ones, they go in the cover to weight down the ends. But right now we kind of put it more into where it's going to be, at least for right now. And I'm going to start putting in the cross braces. So there's 2 different lengths. 4 of them are just a little bit longer than the others, so the longer ones obviously will be in the longer stretch. The shorter ones go here. And you know, look at that fancy writing. I think this was made in China. Maybe. Alright, so I'll get one of those up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I went around, fastened all these. I put them all in the center. I made everything the same all the way around. I don't know how square that made it, but what we're going to do now is we're going to actually square it up. So we know that this is going to be a starting point right here. Remember, this thing picks up. I'm going to fasten this thing so that it's in here, and then I'm going to start to pull measurements off of that, and then I guess I'll have to give you a little breakdown on the 3, 4, 5, how to square up something. So we know that we want it to be finished where this is our starting point. So this is going to be the one we start pulling all our measurements off. And remember, you can pick this up. I'm going to drill this 1 hole to start off with. This is a hammer drill. I also took a Sharpie and marked it so I know where it needs to be. Actually, we'll do this. And this is a tap con, so this is made for concrete. I'll tilt it down a little bit. Technically you don't want to hit things with your hands, but that kind of gets it pretty close in place. And now we're going to use this one to hook our tape measure on. We'll get a measurement from the top. I'm actually going to measure from here to there to get the width, because there was no actual dimensions in the instructions. But the top is fastened hard, so we know it's got to be from this point back here, same over there, and then I can pull the length and put it on this line, and that gives us one line to work off of. Okay, so we did one fastener, a Tapcon concrete anchor, at least for ours, another one there. So we pulled length from top to top, made it the same at the bottom. We have this line on the concrete to work with that we stayed with, and now we will pull the tape measure and get the rest of it to line up. And it came with stakes, so if you're putting it out in your yard, you can stake it down in the dirt. This one's going on their patio, and we want it to be fairly rigid. I'll show you a couple things in just a second. I got it set up a little bit. Okay, so this one was set because we had lines in the concrete that we wanted to match. So we set this one. We put one anchor here, and then we measured the top of each post to get the dimension of how wide it's supposed to be, which is 8 foot 4.5. We set this one because it has lines on the concrete that we wanted to match. So see how the lines are on the concrete? We kind of wanted to stay with that cosmetically. So from that point we have two set, and I only put one pin in case we had to move things or re-drill or it changed our minds. And so now we measured 8 foot 4 here, and then we measured crosswise on all of them to get what the dimension is from this point to this point and this point to this point. And then we made a line here, measured across here, and moved it to where it needed to be. So that's what gives us this one. With this one set and the other three set, that gives us 8 foot 4 from the outside to this one, 8 foot 4 from here to here, 8 foot 4 from here to here, and it's square. That means that this dimension from here to here is the same as this one from here to here. So I'm getting ready to fasten the next two, but that's how we came up with our measurements. And we took the diagonals from the top because they're set. We had to move them until we got the same number. Okay guys, so the bases are all done. I put two tap cons in there. Keep it square and hopefully more rigid, and it has made a very big difference already. All the angle braces are tight. You're just gonna have to get over. Some are tighter, there's gaps. It's just it was made in bulk, so it's not going to be completely tight in every spot. So now all I have left are those top pieces. We'll get those on, and they take this next set of screws. All that I'll have to do off the ladder, so I'll get one up and we'll get going on that.
So were they here last week?
We had 14 guests
I
for
know
4
you
days.
had cars from all over the
Not
place.
much to it.
They're so fun.
Was in April,
Oh my goodness.
and they couldn't come back, so they said we're coming in June.
Oh,
So the grandkids, all except one grandchild in LA.
Just back and forth.
Oh, it was wonderful, and you know our stories.
no.
No, I didn't. Alright, so we got
Oh, really?
4 on
You haven't had any since then?
and 1 left to go. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so Mom pulled the fabric out. She is starting to put the last little square bars through. And just a little bit on each end. So that's done. And then we'll throw the fabric over, we'll put in the next piece and show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, got the fabric on. Over, under, over, under, over, over, under. Well, you can see. And they're trying to make a windbreak from this side so that they got shade on their patio. Mom, what do you think?
I like it. Looks good.
All right,
Nice
so
job.
give you a little shot from the outside. So it is fastened down to the concrete with anchors. See the top maybe. Give them a little bit of windbreak. The wind is pretty strong in here, so that's our only concern is how much wind it'll actually take. But the neighbors over there actually built a wall also, which is starting to help. And we'll see how it goes, but that's it. It's done. Garbage is picked up, and I have no spare parts at all. Well guys, we put it together, and now we're relaxing. Frosty cold beverage. As they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Mom and Dad are happy. It was not too hard. It went together fairly easy. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And stay tuned for other do-it-yourselfers and how-tos. Trying my darndest to keep them coming about once a week. I'm always doing something. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.